Okay, good evening, everybody. Call to order. Today is the Community Redevelopment Agency regular meeting, Tuesday, January 10th, 2023 at 5:35 p.m. Could we please have a call to order and roll call?
Chair Ryan.
Here.
Vice Chair Llewellyn.
Here.
Board Member Davis. Here. Board Member James.
Here.
Board Member Salvino.
Here.
CRA Director 10.
Here.
City Attorney Bootzes.
Here.
Okay, do we have any citizens' comments? No citizen comments. Let's move on to administrative reports.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, and board members. I do have, and I will continue to put our contact information on this. In light of our recent resignation, I will delete the member who's no longer with us, Kisa Eugene. At the time this was written, she was still with us.
Okay, understand.
Want to give you an update on the Dania Beach Innovation Ecosystem. We have continued to make progress with FIU and the incubator, as well as the CRA office, the satellite office, basically diagonally across the street. Just before the holidays, I did a walkthrough during construction, and really very nice progress going on. The expectation, it may be available for occupancy within the next 1 to 2 weeks. In fact, from our original conversation, because it was important to us, they have actually given us both front windows on Federal Highway. So we'll have plenty of room to put flyers and so forth about Dania Beach and CRA events that's viewed on Federal Highway. As you know, an important part of the incubator is to connect it to our business system. That's where the academics meet the practical. And we have identified appointments to our technical advisory board. Official appointment letters have gone out. These were all reviewed and approved by FIU because it is their advisory committee. And to date, the people who have accepted is representing Port Everglades, Glenn Wiltshire, Deputy Director of Port Everglades. For venture capital, Eric Kuchova, CFO and partner of Hubal Capital. They're based in Boston. For hospitality and hotels, Dale Reed, he's the COO of Merrimack Ventures. He is actually the COO of the company that's owned by Dev Metwani, who is doing the project Celeste across the street. For developers, Daniel Debakaroff, who is a significant investor and accelerating in his investments in Dania Beach. And in fact, he is the landlord to the new CRA office and the co-working space at 25 North Federal Highway. For Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, Broward, Rosetta Mubalbi, who is the regional director of that organization. For healthcare, Lynn Quist, he is the general manager, senior vice president of Veccan Technologies. And for international networks, Nick Kuchova, who is senior advisor for global government affairs for Veccan Technology Solutions. These people have already accepted the appointments to the technical advisory board. I couldn't get information about Dania After Dark, and we've all come to realize why. Unfortunately, we've had to put out notice that there's a temporary cancellation. I have framed the message that there's a temporary cancellation pending the new improved version that will be brought back. I would also like to mention, since we're talking about this in the context of events that is run by the CRA, the Arts and Seafood Festival, the planning for that event has already started. This is something that takes months and months to put together. It actually started in December. One of the things we've tried to be mindful of, there was some interest and suggestion from this board at one time to consider to do a entry fee to the event. I will tell you, we have explored it. It is feasible for us to do. We have looked at it in the context of maybe doing a $5 entry fee for adults and children under 12 for free. I just kind of like to take a quick poll of you. Is this something you would like us to continue to incorporate in that plan? Thank you very much. For the CRA plan update, we have a workshop planned for Thursday, unlike my typo here, which said Wednesday. I beg your pardon. We have a draft of the report in your hands, and the important piece for us to get from you, we want you to look through it to see what their goals, objectives, and activities as described are, to see if there's anything in there that you find objectionable, but also, is there anything not in there that you find to be a priority that needs to be included? We can make that adjustment and bring back the final version for you. I would have hopes we could bring it back for adoption in the February meeting. But the Thursday workshop is really important to us to make sure we consider all of your thoughts and opinions on where it's headed. The CRA-owned property at 509 to 511 Northwest 3rd Terrace. This is the CRA-owned duplex. I'm pleased to advise you that that property has closed. And it is now under a time clock for them to submit building permit applications for their rehab and repairs. I want to really thank our mayor who made himself available on short notice to sign the documents and so forth to assist with the closing. It actually closed just last week, and we're off and running. For economic development activities, our Bravo visits continue. Bill Harris is out on the streets. We have a new business here, Selfie Salon Bar. It is a full-service salon for men and women. It is luxury services and so forth in a pet-friendly environment. So if you're looking for someplace that you can't do without your pet, you've got someplace to go now. Sky Spaces and Sky Suites. This is actually the first business that is directly come to the city as a result of the incubator. It is the co-working space in which we will be a tenant, but in addition to us, they're actually building out approximately 7,000 square feet of space for co-working space. They are estimating that they have sufficient room to house 20 new businesses in addition to the CRA and the incubator. And I can tell you, in terms of a startup business environment, co-working office space is a critical feature. Not only is it tend to be a little bit cheaper office space, but it's a space that allows networking between new startup businesses. And so you've got these new businesses that are sharing resources, ideas, and so forth, and nothing solidifies a new business better than being able to exchange their stories with other people in their same shoes. So this is a great asset to helping us build strong new businesses in Dania Beach. The Hotel Delo across the street has announced, their general manager, David Alvarez, has announced that they're doing rehabs to their rooms, and they're also adding a coffee shop type restaurant on their ground floor. This is in response to their guest demand, looking for some food service on property. Saito's Japanese restaurant actually opened, but they have not been able to fully staff up yet, so their actual meal service, whether it's lunch or dinner, is still somewhat sporadic. We are working with them, and when Chef Min feels that they are fully operational, we'll set up for you to go over and do an official opening with them. For the patch, it was announced in our last meeting, but we actually said our goodbyes to Leon Carroll, who was our lead farm and market coordinator. For those of you who didn't realize his longevity with it, Mr. Carroll was actually part of the planning committee before the patch existed. He started in with the patch as a volunteer, and eventually when we started paying wages there, he became an employee of the patch. His service has been invaluable. The patch certainly reflects his dedication and, frankly, his love. And it was a sorrowful goodbye we said to him just last week. There's a picture of our saying goodbye to him attached for you. Oh, and I did miss one, I'm sorry, about our Bravo visits. Cluckin' Chicken is making progress. That's the old Checkers restaurant. In addition to their interior renovations and so forth, there's a picture. They have done a mural on the outside of their property. I can tell you they are now an eye catcher on our federal highway corridor. And let's just say that is a true addition to our arts and entertainment district now. Again, back to the patch. The patch is ready to roll out its CSA produce box. That's the subscription order of produce. It's available for a 3-month period. We'll be taking orders for those boxes starting probably within the next couple of weeks. And the patch is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. for walk-in people who wish to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's my admin report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chen. For presentations, we have one titled the At-Home Dania Beach Beatification Program. It's presented by Rebuilding Together, Broward County.
Thank you. I'm just going to introduce Robin Martin, and I tell you, it's kind of, my guess is all of you know him better than I. And he's been in Dania Beach for a long time. Robin?
Thank you. Thank you, Commission. Thank you, CRA staff, City. I have it. Awesome. Let's make sure technology works, and it does. Again, thank you very much. My name is Robin Martin. I'm the Executive Director of Rebuilding Together, Broward County. I've been honored to serve as in that role for the last 6 years and to partner with Dania Beach for, this is almost going to be our 4th year that we've been there. Many of you have met me before. You've been to work days. You've seen what we've done, and we look forward to doing that again in the future. This is just going to be an overview of, for those of you that might not know us as well, of what we do and how we do it in partnership, and then there's always, of course, time for questions if you have any. I brought slides. I cannot read that. I need to go get my eyes checked, so if anyone in the audience needs something, please let me know. Rebuilding Together is a local affiliate of the National Rebuilding Together Network. Over 50 years nationally, 20 years. It's literally our 20th year this year in Broward County. Over 120 affiliates all throughout the United States. And every year we here in Broward County work on just around 400 homes throughout the community, and we have a special partnership with you. Our mission is repairing homes, revitalizing communities, and rebuilding lives, and it means exactly what it says. We repair homes, so we go into homes and we do a health and safety inspection, and we provide home improvements, safety modifications, so that people who are seniors, people with disabilities, and of course our veterans can age in place and live in a healthy and safe environment. And our goal is to partner with the community and bring volunteers, companies, cities like your own, as well as the community together to make an impact. We work to make a sustainable impact in communities by addressing quality of life issues that are reflective in their home environment. During this last COVID season, we all know how important our homes are. Many of us had to stay in them. Many of our seniors had homes that they lived in during that time where it really literally wasn't safe, and some of them to the point where it was uninhabitable. And so we focus on our efforts on fixing homes like that. The other side of what we do is we impact affordable housing, and we impact low-income communities and neighborhoods that are underserved, actually, over course of time by community revitalization. And that's the Dania at Home project, where we're specifically working with the CRA to improve, think mostly landscaping and paint, but it includes minor exterior repairs, to bring about transformation in the city, and specifically in areas of high density, low income housing, housing that's is older, that might be in need of repairs. Our work specifically in Dania, over 2022, We did 40 homes throughout the community, many of those with volunteers. We've brought together Home Depot. We've brought the Dolphins before out to have a day where we literally helped a person who was a cancer survivor and someone who worked, I believe she was a school teacher, as well as painting and landscape. Those same 40 homes, 9 of them received what we call AAA, which is the Area Agency on Aging improvements. So any and all homeowners throughout Broward County, but also in Dania Beach, that are over 60 years old, if they want and if they need, we do a 25-point health and safety assessment of their home. And from what they fail on those 25 assessments, we provide handyman, home tech, as well as other services so that they have a home that they can live and age safely. Some of the things that we did on top of the 40 homes that we worked with specifically under this contract is we installed safety equipment, we repaired flooring, we did some minor plumbing work, some AC service, doors and windows were repaired, and installed a wheelchair ramp, some small and one larger one throughout the city, so that people who are forced to use wheelchairs are able to have a safe egress and ingress into their home. This is only a snippet of what we've done. Over the last few years that we've partnered with the City of Dania and the CRA, we actually worked on 131 homes and provided paint, landscape, and minor home improvements. I have some photos to show just of some before and after work. So Rosalind C., you have a before and an after with her there. I think that's actually me taking the picture if you see me in that shadow. Again, and you'll see this is one of the larger homes that we've worked on. Now, out of the 40 homes, a good portion of them are done through our team of home technicians. So we're going out, we're pressure washing, we're doing the repairs, and we're doing the paint and landscaping with our team. But on top of that, we bring volunteer days, and you'll see some photos of that. Obviously, COVID kind of messed that up, but we, over the last year, have been able to come back and have some of those larger scale. And you should, I believe, have these pictures in your packet. So here's some examples of volunteer days. One of the best things in partnering with Rebuilding Together is that we're able to leverage your dollars with partners. We're able to have fun days, bring awareness to the city, improve the lives of your citizens, your homeowners, as well as leveraging your dollars with specific repairs. I've mentioned a number of them, but you get the idea. So these are, there's some volunteers. So we have corporate partners who come out and join us. We have churches that have come out and joined us. Anyone and everyone that we can partner with, we bring them together. We have breakfast. We paint, we landscape. We meet with the homeowner. We have a lunch. We call it a day. And just so that you are safe and feel secure in your dollars, we always do pre-work on the homes, and we always send our team of home technicians after the volunteers come and do the work to make sure that the quality is exactly what we demand. That ends the presentation of what we've been doing with Dania Beach over the last few years. Not only have we partnered to do homes, we've done some things like we've done some work at the Patch for you. We've helped some other areas and nonprofit, as well as one for-profit business that needed a little bit of help. So we are so thankful for this partnership, this long-standing relationship. We look forward to continuing it this year. We are planning a large day in April to have a day. One of the things I didn't mention or failed to mention is that we work really hard to find the homes as close as possible and on the same streets. One, that's so that those volunteer days are really an event and a project day, but two, so that the community is actually feeling a sense of what we're doing. We're not just helping one individual homeowner. We are, but together, by finding homes as close as possible, we're impacting the community and those CRA areas that desperately need the support that we provide. So thank you very much for your time. I didn't know how long I had, so I wanted to be really quick and brief, but if you have any questions, I'm obviously here for you.
Thank you for the presentation. Commissioner James?
Yes, I just want to thank you for all the amazing work that you've done through the years. I was here when this program first started, and I cannot tell you how many residents call and they're on the waiting list, or they're really excited that we are giving back through you all to our communities. I do have a question. I know that a few times we've run into situations where certain residents aren't able to kind of afford a little bit of the repairs that they have to do beforehand, before you guys paint. Sometimes it could be a strain. I just ask that if you do run into that situation, not that we're going to go and promote that, that you let us know. Maybe it's something that we can help out with our contingency funds as far as helping prep the home for painting and things of that nature. I know that you can't just go out there and just paint those homes. And I do want to say those pictures do not do justice to how transformative it really is in person. Because it is life-changing, and I think the educational component about when you plant, to have that irrigation and for them to maintain that is important as well.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll add two things. One, if there's a specific homeowner that tells you that, please make sure that we're aware so that we can address it. But you're right, we don't always have funds, because a lot of that fascia board starts getting into an expensive dollar amount, and we're not generally. But thank you for making that a possibility that we can work with the CRA to not let that be a barrier. The other thing I'll point out is that when we do the irrigation, the landscaping, we're trying to get plants that are durable, plants that will last and live. No one's throwing sod on a grass that doesn't have sprinklers, because it'll just die. So we've tried really hard to make sure that the stuff we do is lasting, and I appreciate you saying the words you said.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Robin. I was able to participate in the first Get Dirty Day with United Way, Broward County, and it was a block rebuild, and I think it was in conjunction with Home Depot and everybody all together. And the way that this program brings the community together in different ways, from the kids, the young, the old, diverse, everybody, it really is such an engaging project. I also had the opportunity to volunteer with I think the realtors of Broward and Palm Beaches when we did it again. And I just think that I would like to see it be able to be expanded, where we can involve more of the community members, because I think the larger or the more volunteers, because sometimes it came by me by way of something that I found out, and I was like, oh, I remember when I did it a few years ago, and it's just something that I think that if we can really scale up a little bit and find ways to have more community participation. I know you do have your standard volunteers, and these people are diehard and they come every time because it is so rewarding, but I would really like to see if we can engage the community more, if that's through advertising or if that's through just, pushing it out through the CRA a little bit more, because I think it's such a positive experience that it needs to permeate throughout the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Thank you. Hi, Robin. How are you? So I just wanted to, I don't know if I saw numbers on there or not. How many homes did you have budgeted for last year?
It was 40.
40, and how many did you actually do?
40.
Okay.
I think we might have done a couple more.
I was going to say, I usually do more than what's budgeted, correct? Yeah. Okay, and so it's the same thing this year? You're looking for 40, you're looking for more? Yeah. Okay, and potential to do more, depending?
Yes.
Okay, as usual.
And we work on more, but the painting and landscape is always dependent upon our partners and things. And we have taken a hit because of COVID and volunteer days and people not feeling safe. So I feel like this is a good year of having those days again, since we don't have those scares like we used to.
Right. And I know, it's obviously not just painting that you do. There's other things that are done as well. I remember there was one event where there were I think you had Home Depot or something donate some appliances and things like that as well. So all of those things are being done?
Yes.
Okay, and that's going to continue?
Yes.
Okay.
But just to be clear, so that we don't give false expectations with your residents, we put those as two different programs. So that through this program, you get this,
Right.
and that way, it's not, well, Betty got a stove, and so then what we do is we try to identify and isolate clients that we're able to help with more things, depending upon their needs. And in those years, we had veterans that were very specific, and Home
Right.
Depot has a very soft spot for veterans.
Of course. And the corporations do as well, so that's part of it. And to piggyback on what Board Member Davis just said, perhaps when you know that you're going to be doing an event, maybe let the city know so that we can promote it in social media and some other places, so that if people do want to volunteer, they can join in. That might be the best way to do it, is if we have a couple of weeks' notice or something, and we can start promoting it out there. So
I know that Mr. Chen has been talking about ways in which we can better showcase. I won't steal his thunder, so I'll let him later tell you about exciting things that they're doing, but what you're saying resonates with what he's trying to do as well.
okay, perfect. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, now we can move on to the consent agenda. Anybody have anything pulled from the consent
Chair?
agenda they'd like to pull from them? Oh,
Could,
sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Could I put a finish on Robin's
Sure, go ahead.
presentation? Robin's presentation was particularly timely because as you get into the consent agenda, it is the renewal of the Rebuilding Together contract for 40 more homes for 2023. I also want to mention to you two other things that we are working together in different ways. One of them, over the holidays, we've been able to secure a video. It's approximately a 3-minute video that features Rebuilding Together and their work specifically in Dania Beach. This is a video that will be posted on our website, and as soon as we get it secured there, I will send you the link to see it. I think it shows a really good effort in what's being done to try to revitalize our neighborhoods by these refreshing rehabs, okay? And the last piece of it is we actually are working with Rebuilding Together in a new and different way. We're working to handle one of the patch volunteer groups. We're looking to hand this off to Rebuilding Together so that their volunteers can work for rebuilding houses. So I just want to let you know there is actually a purpose for this presentation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Okay, back to the consent agenda. Anybody have anything they wish to pull from the consent agenda? Commissioner James?
I'd like to make a motion to pass the consent agenda.
Any opposed?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion has been passed with the consent agenda. Now we move on to proposals and bids. No
There are
proposals and
none.
bids? Okay, motion to adjourn. Oh, sorry. Board member comments first. Commissioner Salvino, start with you first?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Board member Davis, start with you first.
Yes, I'd just like to say congratulations on the closing of that home. I think that it's sat there for so long, it's been dilapidated, and I'm glad to see that it's going to be repurposed for the affordable housing. So kudos to you and everyone who worked on the team to get that done. Thank you.
Board member James, any comments?
No, I'll save them for the commission meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Salvino?
Yes, I just have one comment to make. It's more of a question than it is a comment. We're talking about the new place where Checkers is. What's the name? Cluckin' Chicken. I understand there might have been a little bit of an issue with the mural that went up there, and is that been resolved?
I actually didn't know about the mural, so when I saw it, I texted Corinne over in Planning and Zoning, and they need to go through the Public Art Board, so they have received a citation, and they're working with the Public Art consultant on getting the approval, because it comes to you all for the mural.
So my question is, every mural that we put on a building has to go through that now?
Yes.
And was that the case before?
No, I don't, I'm not sure about before, but it
So
is
who-
definitely now.
So who created that? Does that become an ordinance, or we just decided to do that?
No, that's an ordinance, and it's the public art ordinance as it relates specifically to murals.
Okay, I didn't know that I didn't remember us passing an ordinance to have to do all murals through the arts and, in public places.
So I can have, when it comes down to the city commission meeting, see if Eleanor and Corinne can specifically
Okay,
address your
that'd be
questions.
fine. We'll wait till then. Thank you.
Board Member James? Oh, okay. Board Member Llewellyn?
Thank you. My only comment was, I actually did get to see Mr. Leon on his last day. He was, he seemed excited, but also sad to be going. But the good news is I heard he's still going to be available for any assistance if needed. He's offered to be available by phone or what have you if the people at the patch need him. So we wish him well, and that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member. Okay, I have no further comments, so meeting adjourned.